Hey, and welcome back to You're the Artist Studio. And today we're going to paint a fall truck in a field. I'm painting it for the first time with you guys, so hopefully I'll get it right the first time. So we're using about 10 different colors on this. We're using white, black, light blue. My dark blue accidentally plopped into the middle of my light blue, so I figured I'll work with it. It was going to go there. Yellow ochre, honey brown, burnt umber, an orange, dark green, and a light green. So let's get started. Alright, so I'm going to start with the sky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this blue. This blue is really for the truck. So I'm going to lighten it up some white. I'm going to use a 1-inch flat brush for the sky. I want the sky really kind of light. I want it to look kind of like really early morning. Yeah. And you notice I don't have a ton of paint. Like, they're all pretty small. You'd be surprised at how little paint you really need. Brush is a little dry, so wet it a little bit, add a little bit more blue. Now, while this is so wet, and it's okay if it's not a consistent color, the sky has all different shades and variation. I'm going to take a tiny bit of this orange. I'm going to mix it with a little bit of white. See what this looks like. I'm going to add a little color into the sky. This easel's poking and it's bothering me. Alrighty. There we go. Pull these arms out. There. Just a little ribbon of color. And so I could always come back in with a little bit of light blue. I'm going to soften it up a little bit. It's a little bit too much. Put more white on there than. And just make sure I got rid along the truck here. Yeah, alright, so now I'm going to start with the truck. I'm going to paint that light blue. Now, keep in mind that you can paint anything, any color you want. You don't have to follow the same colors that I'm using. Feel free. And for right now, I'm sticking with the 1-inch flat brush. And it's okay if I come down into that part a little bit. And if it feels a little tricky, you can always come into a smaller brush around here, wherever you have to. I'm trying to paint around that dollop of dark blue. I only need a tiny bit of dark blue, so I'm figuring I can just pull from it from the middle of that. I do love these old trucks. They're so cool. Alright, and you see kind of left a slight white there, so I know where that is because this blue covers pretty well. So I won't lose it. Come in here and fill this in a little more. And then we just have the wheel well to do, and then we're pretty much done with the light blue. Now, it doesn't matter what brand paints you use. I have a variety of paints here between Hobby Lobby's Crafter brand, Deco Americana for most of them. The dark blue is Master's Touch from Hobby Lobby. But you can get, Apple Barrel from Walmart or whatever ones that Michael sells. It's fine. Just whatever colors that you want to do. You don't have to do these same colors. All right, so while this is still wet, I'm going to dip into this dark blue, mix it in a little bit with the light blue, and this was not meant to be plopped in the middle of it, but it is. I'm just going to kind of add some shadow. Clean my brush off a little bit and just kind of soften that up so it's just a little shadow underneath the lip of the truck there. I'm going to add a little shadow here and there. Now you need a little bit of light blue, but I want it lighter than truck. So I'm going to add some white, some more white and light blue together. I don't necessarily want it quite as light as the sky, but pretty close. And then there's a little bit of shadow here on the inside of the wheel well. And then I'm going to come back in. We'll come back in at the end with highlights, but I don't necessarily want it white. So while this is still a little wet, I want it to kind of blend in. Just lighten it up a little bit. So that's a little much. So I'll clean my brush off. And with a dry brush, I'm just going to kind of wipe down. So you want it to look like it's aged and weathered and it has lighter and darker spots. For now, that is good. It is good. It is good. It's good. Okay. So I think for the moment we're done with the glow. So now what I'm going to do is take this light green. I'm going to start painting in the field in the background. And again, you can use any light green you want. Something that's earthy is always good. This is Decor Americana Hauser light green. It's one of my favorite greens to use. Let's see. I've got a lot of lines on this thing. I'm going to come in with just a little bit of dark green and blend that in while this is still wet. With acrylic paints, it's really important if you want any kind of blending that you do it while it's wet. Once it dries, it won't blend. Now you could always just put more of the same color on top and then add that color you want to blend into it. I'm not really following my lines so much right now. I'm just kind of I'm gonna put some like there's rows of dirt and try and make that look right. And we're gonna kind of come in with my honey brown. Blend that in a little bit. Again, while it's still wet, it blends nicely. You would normally think to blend brown and green, but kind of works for this. Probably should move to a smaller brush. And you can also mix your dark and light green. If you say my dark green is way too dark, I want to tone it down, mix it with a little bit of light green. So what we're going to create here, this is supposed to be a pumpkin patch, so it's kind of like rows of planting. And just giving it a little more dimension than just a flat one color. Bring this right to the truck edge here. A little pin on there. Right there. So now there's a pumpkin here. I'm going to paint that pumpkin. At this point, don't worry about the details, just paint it in. You can put pumpkins anywhere you want on this little field. I have a big one sitting here next to the truck. Alright, so before we well, we could do this pumpkin up here, since I have the orange out. It's a big old pumpkin in the truck here. And that's a bale of hay. Alright, we'll come back to this when it dries a little bit with a little bit more detail. I know you're probably wondering, what do you do here? We'll get to that. Alright, so our next thing is going to be, I think we're going to try and make like those distant fence posts, because I want them pushed more to the background. So I'm just going to kind of create random lines here, or not random so much, but fence post lines. So I'm using the darker brown, burnt umber, or whatever dark brown you have. Do some move distant. My brush is not in the best of shape. There, just a little distant, smaller fence line. So I'm going to take my lighter brown. I'm going to go over that and just create a little. I kind of want the light to be coming from this side, this morning sky. So I'm going to put a little lighter brown on the fence post on the right side there. Easy peasy. Easy peasy now. We want to populate our field with some pumpkins. They could be all different sizes. And for right now, I'm going to avoid consistency, like having them all spaced separately, same distance apart. We'll put some in this row here. These are closest, so I'll make them a little bigger. A couple small ones. Add as many or as little pumpkins as you want to. I'm just going to put like 1 or 2 over here. I'm going to put a lot over here. We'll let those dry. All right, so while that's drying, I'm going to take the black. I think I need to get a different brush. This brush has seen better days. It may need to come out of rotation. I'm going to take the smaller brush and kind of, and we're going to come up here a little bit. And there'll be more black outlining, but for right now, we're just going to fill in this little space underneath the bumper, or between that and the bumper. And I'm going to mix a gray. So I'm going to take some white and some black. And I actually would probably put, and so you see I just put the tiniest bit of black in there, just a little tiny bit. So a bunch of white, tiniest bit of black, and I'm going to add the tiniest bit of blue. That always makes it look more like a steel gray color. And that is for the bumper. And it'll also, a little bit of blue in the gray will just tie in the truck. Mix a little bit more, tiniest bit of black. It's probably a little more than the tiniest bit. Bring that over the wheel well just a wee bit. Come back in with the black and the smaller brush, and way too much water on my paint. If that ever happens, just take a paper towel and dab it, and it's fine. Turn my acrylics into watercolors. Alright. Truck is done. Let's do our bale of hay. Alright, so I'm going to take that gold color, it's a deep ochre, and I'm just going to kind of fill it in. And it's okay if it comes and sticks out like that, that's perfectly okay, and honestly, it's what I'd like to see. Now we're going to mix in a little bit of that light brown, just here and there. Not too much because you don't want to. And then I'm going to take a little bit of white and just kind of blend that in there to lighten up some areas. Particularly on the top and the right side, where the light might be hitting it. And I'll come back in with my little brush. And keep that strap that was holding it together. Which works a little better when it's not quite as wet. Also going to kind of hint, using the thin brush, just hint at some of the what you want to accomplish is some texture, which is what I think we've accomplished here. Now, come back in over that. Now I'm going to touch up any little tiny area. Our painting is mostly painted. It's not quite finished yet, but mostly painted. Alright, so I'm going to use the dark brown rather than the black for like painting in the ribs of the pumpkin. Almost kind of looks like a basketball. Put some random lines in there. I'm not going to worry too much about detail, obviously, on these. We're going to grab another brush. This one. This one. Seen better days. And keep in mind, I want the light coming from here. So when I do the pumpkins, I'm just going to kind of do the sides here. If you want, you can kind of hint at some lines, but keep in mind they are not close up to you, so you're not going to see all that. These are the closest ones. So really, we're just going to kind of create like a kind of a shadow. These are still very wet. I'm going to take some of my white and mix it with that mustard color yellow, or the goldish yellow, the deep ochre. Instead of using white for highlights here, I'm just going to kind of hit it with those. Because they're so small, they're not detailed. You can always come back in and repaint them. They're not perfectly round, but then again, those pumpkins aren't. I can come back in with some orange and tone down some of the brown if we want to. Like this one has a lot. Tones that brown down a little bit. But that's okay. You just wanted to get the idea that there's pumpkins out there. You can even put little stems on them. There, pumpkins. I'm going to throw a stem on this one. So why not? Feel free to make any painting your own. All right, so now we're going to come on into the black. And we're just going to outline a few things. It doesn't have to be full lines, just straight lines are hard. I've been doing this forever. When people say, I can't draw a straight line, I say, well, that's why God invented a ruler. And because it's rustic, they don't have to really be straight lines. You know, we're not doing photorealism. That's fine. You can even kind of the same way you would do highlights. We'll just add a little bit of, just a touch of black around there. Bring this out over here. So what I want to do with that little bit, don't necessarily want to smear them a little bit. And just add a little texture to this. All right, so a couple last things. Let's paint if you want. You don't have to. We're going to paint a cloud. So when I paint a cloud, okay, basically I take a round brush and some white paint, and I do circles. And you don't want to necessarily make it a straight line. And I just circle. And then when I get down to the bottom, I kind of just try and circle until I run out of paint so that it softens it up. So now what I'm going to do is take a little bit of this gold color and add a little bit to the clouds. You can even add a slight touch of orange. I'm going to come back in with some white. Because clouds orange, it's white, they reflect all the colors that are around them. So we're looking at this as like it's a sunrise. I'm just going to do a little cloud here. And just circle, 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 circle. There you go. Clouds are some of my favorite things to paint. All right, and the other thing, I'm going to take act like there's a bush over here. I'm just going to use my brush to create an impression of leaves from this bush. To the side. I might come in with some browns. A little bit of orange. I don't want too much because there's the pumpkins there. I may take some white and lighten that gold a little bit. You're also welcome to leave this off. I just thought it would be, add a little interest to the side there. And also feel free to experiment. Like I'm mixing some of the light brown and the orange together. You see how the round brush is making a nice leaf shape. You can cover up a pumpkin. It's fine. And the only thing left to do now, I believe, is white highlights. I'm going to come in with the medium round brush. And just wherever you feel that they need it, just go ahead and do a stroke of white. I think I want some black up there. We'll come back to that. Some white to the eyebrows. Add some white here because this is like the windshields. The only thing I want to do is tiny little bit up there. That's it. And I think we're going to call that done. So let me know what you think, if you like this painting or not. And probably going to see this really soon at another nearby paint party in Sevierville. But let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Again, with the paints, it's just going to be a white, a black, a light blue, a dark blue, a yellow ochre, or any kind of golden yellow, a light brown, dark brown, orange, light green, dark green. Easy peasy. Not a lot of detail work on this one, and if I can, I will get a tracer up for you pretty soon. Alright, feel free to like and follow if you enjoyed this. And otherwise, I will see you next time, and have a happy fall.